Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Marina Grosu from Washington, D.C. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Pope Francis affirmed that he has no plans to resign at present, as his health is steadily improving. The Pope, who is nearing his 87th birthday, also revealed that he's begun making plans for his funeral and burial. The Holy Father was speaking in an interview with Mexican journalist Valentina Alazraqui. The Pope added that he wished to simplify the papal burial procedures and prefers to be buried in the renowned Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, a Marian devotion he cherishes most. Since becoming Pope Francis has visited the Basilica of St. Mary Major more than 100 times. Israel's foreign minister declared that they would carry on with war, whether it has international support or not, after the UN General Assembly's overwhelming decision in support of a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Eli Cohen, the foreign minister, declared on Wednesday that Israel's military will carry on with its ground attack in Gaza despite the lack of backing from other countries, and that accepting another ceasefire would be a gift to Hamas. Reportedly, Israel's military has begun pumping seawater into Hamas's vast tunnel network beneath the Gaza Strip in an attempt to force terrorists out of their hiding spots. The effort is reportedly in its infancy stage. The Supreme Court of the United States has said that it will take up the issue of the chemical abortion pill availability and approval procedure once more. The Supreme Court will consider a decision made earlier this year by the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which concluded that the risk evaluation and mitigation strategy should be reestablished to mandate that women be informed about the facts surrounding chemical abortion pills before consuming them. Meanwhile, at the request of the state's Attorney General, the New Mexico Supreme Court is considering overturning conservative counties and cities' local limitations on abortion. Mexico has some of the nation's most liberal abortion laws. In a letter, the U.S. Catholic bishops, along with the Orthodox Union, urged Congress to allot at least $200 million as part of the nonprofit security grant program in the funding package that aids security assistance to Israel. The letter that was submitted by the Catholic bishops earlier last month was made public this week. Archbishop of New York, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, who chairs the Committee for Religious Liberty of the U.S. bishops, stated in the letter that since the introduction of the grants, it has enabled vulnerable communities to gather for worship, prayer, and service without fear of being attacked. The prelate in the letter noted the vulnerability faced especially by the Jewish community following the attack on Israel by Hamas on October 7th. The bishops asked the lawmakers to ensure the immediate availability of the funds in a manner appropriate to the dire situation. The House of Representatives passed a resolution on Wednesday condemning antiSemitism on university campuses and the testimony of university presidents before the House Committee on Education and the Workforce. The resolution, introduced by Representative Elise Stefanik, reprehended the testimonies of the presidents of Harvard, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and the University of Pennsylvania. The university heads were found evasive and dismissive when they were asked if the calls for genocide of Jews violated university policies on bullying and harassment. The resolution deplored the rise of anti-Semitism on university campuses and urged the leaders of Harvard and MIT to follow the example of University of Pennsylvania President Liz McGill, who resigned last week. The Taliban's restriction on females attending school beyond the 6th grade, according to the U.S. Treasury, constitutes a severe instance of discrimination. Furthermore, an evaluation by Human Rights Watch indicates that the Taliban's educational practices are negatively impacting Afghanistan's education system for boys as well. The analysis indicates that these practices will impact Afghanistan's future for a long time and may cause a lost generation of children. Educators and students alike have spoken out in this research on the allegedly abusive implementation of a more religiously based curriculum in schools after the Taliban's return to the power in August 2021. Following the review meetings regarding the feasibility of the Parish elementary schools in the Archdiocese of St. Louis, the pastors of the schools recommended keeping their schools open for the academic year 2024 to 2025. Pastors overseeing 1/3 of the Catholic schools consulted the Office of Catholic Education and Formation to assess matters including enrollment trends and projections, building capacity, and parish subsidy. Enrollment data from the previous academic year show that the capacity of the schools have fallen below 65%. For the school's long-term viability, the pastors have been asked to frame a feasibility plan by February 1st. The son of media mogul Jimmy Lai of Hong Kong, Sebastian Lai, met with Britain's Foreign Secretary David Cameron to ask for help in getting his father out of prison. Next week, Jimmy, the founder of Apple Daily, will go on a trial for allegedly violating national security laws in Beijing. Detained since 2020, he might spend the rest of his life in prison if found guilty. Sebastian believes that the meeting with the British politician will heighten international pressure on Hong Kong's government and bring attention to his father's issue. Meanwhile, the UK government condemned the national security law and promised to stand by Jimmy Lai and the people of Hong Kong. Governor Kim Reynolds of Iowa has expressed her disapproval of the satanic exhibit housed in the Capitol building, calling it absolutely objectionable. The display depicts a silver ram's head on a red cape mannequin. Kim emphasized the nativity scene at the Capitol as the true reason for the season and urged Iowans to join her in prayer. The state's Republican lawmakers are angered by the display, and many others have also demanded its immediate removal, citing its unconstitutionality. Governor Reynolds later posted on her X account stating, "This event proved that the battle is between good and evil, and good will always prevail." The American state of Florida has fined a high school for permitting a transgender student who is a biological male to play in girls' volleyball. Monarch High School was placed on probation and fined $16,500 by the state athletic board for violating Governor Ron DeSantis' Fairness in Women's Sports Act. The association also prohibited the transgender student from engaging in boys' sports for 11 months. The Fairness in Women's Sports Act of Florida, which went into effect in 2021, prohibits biological males from participating in sports on public school teams that are meant for student athletes who are biological females. In Nashville, the Kadum family, Father Nick, Mother Rawa Kawaji, and their son John, faced charges for allegedly assaulting another one of their sons, a juvenile who converted from Islam to Christianity. The victim, who had cuts and bruises during a welfare check, reported being attacked by his Muslim parents and brother for his religious conversion. Rawa Kawaji is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, while Nick and John Kadum face domestic assault charges. Kawaji remains jailed while the others have been released. The Plaza del Ayuntamiento in Alicante, Spain, is attracting multitudes from around the world with an incredible display of the largest nativity scene in the world. The colossal 17-meter-tall sculpture was officially recognized as the world's tallest by the Guinness World Book of Records in 2019. Last year, the three wise men, Melchior, Gaspar, and Balthasar, were added to the display, which already included St. Joseph, the Virgin Mary, and the infant Jesus. This magnificent nativity scene was created by Alicante artist Jose Manuel Garci. The gigantic crib has been open for public viewing since December 5th. And those are your latest headlines. Join us again tomorrow for more. You can also visit us at swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.